eYantra is engaging in robotics outreach, which with a lot of young people. We've set up almost 400 labs, and we touch them a lot through our competitions and things like that. But we wanted to share with them what it takes to be a Buland kind of Manus. We need more role models. So, as a potential role model of what's possible with his kind of thinking, I think what's really important is that he's shown us the importance of dreaming. So, without much ado, I'd like to, not very briefly, but I'll try and do justice to it. He left us on 26th of November. He's left us golden memories of a well accomplished life over 96 years. 96 years. And until recently, he was having morning walks on Marine Drive. And sad loss, this, and saying things like that. But I felt that the man has lived such a wonderful and full existence that he gives us ourselves a bit differently. I see him as an example for young engineers. So this is what this get together is all about. And I'm hoping that each of us will present their bit of story to put this puzzle of who call FC Kohli is. So he personally inspired me to think of the bigger picture, where he showed us that the key quality of an engineer is actually empathy. People forget that. Empathy to solve societal problems using technology. He showed us how to think big. He showed us that one is only limited by one's imagination. This was cemented by my colleagues at IIT Bombay and my seniors like Professor Phatak and my colleagues like Kanan, Modgalia and others who are here, right? And I finally discovered where Professor Phatak gets his penchant for big numbers from, right? People train 100 teachers and 200 teachers, and he talks about 10,000 teachers training program. And lately when I spoke to them, he was almost up to 100,000. So maybe he'll speak a little bit about that. But now I know where he gets that penchant from. And he's always believed Mr. Kohli has been his mentor, and Mr. Kohli used to refer to him as his blue-eyed boy. And anyway, so that's that. But the importance of systems engineering, right? Looking at the system as a whole, the importance of institution building, the reason why TCS may continuity is not an accident. It's been built into the DNA of the organization, right? And so the purpose of this is to just celebrate this person, this phenomenon with young people. And so we have a bunch of friends here from academia and from industry who will share their stories to tell you a little bit more about this Peshawar, Pakistan, where his schooling and matriculation was in Peshawar. Then he did his BA and BSc in Punjab University at Government College in Lahore. Then he did his bachelor's in electrical engineering in Canada, Queen's University. Then he worked at an electric company for a year. And then he did his master's, his MS in MIT in Cambridge, USA, in electrical engineering. And then he worked in various capacities, basically in power system operation planning, which actually prepared him for his career when he returned to India in 1951. So in 51, he joined Tata Electric companies, where he helped to set up a state-of-the-art load dispatching system to manage systems operations. In fact, that system is in operation even today. The whole islanding of Bombay as a city was conceptualized and executed. Then he brought in the idea of using advanced technology and computer systems to manage the power grid, right, which Tata Electric had set up. In fact, they started in the initial days by doing the dispatching with a CDC mainframe that was there in TIFR, and afterwards they bought their own machines. So finally, anyway, he was started off as GM in the company, and then 1974 he became director in charge and deputy chairman in 94 and so on. But in TCS, I think his main contribution has been IT as an instrument of national development. That's apart from business and all that. He's done complex assignments for banks, telephone companies and government in the early 70s. He's helped pioneer India's IT revolution, helped build the IT industry, and I'm hoping that today, how that happened will emerge in our conversation with friends. He thought of computerization when no one realized its potential. And he always sought, or at least I felt that towards the end, he was thinking a lot of how benefits of IT can be brought to the rural masses through adult literacy programs. And more importantly, as Professor Anil Sasrabudde will illustrate here, he was passionate about advancing engineering education at the undergraduate level. He wanted to create a large pool of students for undertaking graduate studies, and he worked with IIT Bombay and the Ministry of IT to graduate 3,000 microelectronics engineers. Because you can't build an electronics industry with the 100, 200 engineers that you push out every year. So he focused on, can we create 3,000 microelectronics engineers? And that also showed me where Professor Phatak, right, has also got his impulse to think in this kind of way. He's contributed to affordable computers and open source software in Indian languages and so on. And he's basically a visionary and pioneer by nature. So he deserves to be acknowledged as the father of the Indian software industry. Awards are many, fellowships of lots of professional. Padma Bhushan in 2002. So I'm going to stop there. And I'd like to now our friends here speaking about slides I would like to share with you before we continue. If I can just share. I hope you see this.
Yes, we can. Yes.
We call this a life well lived, and I think we can all aspire to something like this in our own lives. And this is a slide from when he was chairman of the eYantra steering group way back in 2012. And he helped us lay the foundations for whatever was to happen in eYantra later on. And we benefited from his enthusiasm and his vision. We see Anand Deshpande also there. And Anand will have a few stories to share with you. We have Kriti here and Saraswati and Krishna, who were there with us in the early days. This was at 92 years, the importance of exercise, Marine Drive morning walk, right? 92 years. This was in 2016. This was at his birthday last year, 95 years, right? With Swaranji, right? It was wonderful seeing him. This was with his pals, right? Jayant Pendarkar, who I'm sorry to hear today is no more. And we have Ashank Desai, we have Harish Mehta, who was NASCOM and good friends, and we have Ramdurai here, and so on. This is Anirudh, his son, on the left, who's head of radiology in Beach Candy Hospital, and on the right is Sanjay, his elder son, and Malvika, his daughter-in-law, who's a dermatologist here. So we have a bunch of speakers. I have this list with me offline. I won't advertise it here. But first we have Mr. Ramdurai and Chandra couldn't be here with us because they have a clash, but they've recorded a video of themselves, which I'd like to play. So I'll play this video first.
Having had an association with Mr. Kohli for almost 48 years, from the time I came back to India, it's a very sad loss. Mr. Kohli was a mentor, guide, teacher, most importantly, a very close family friend. He was a brilliant technologist, a great manager, and more importantly, an excellent mentor, teacher, and a human being. He has touched the lives of so many people, from multiple disciplines and made them feel at home whenever he or she had the opportunity to interact with him. He would throw a lot of challenges at you, understand you, and enable the ability to professionally develop your competence. The care for the nation, care for the citizens of this India, and also bringing the fruits of the technology for application to societal problems was what kept him going in the later years. It's a sad loss, and we want to wish the family to have the courage to go through this loss. Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Who was a long-term colleague of Mr. Kohli, who succeeded him at TCS, as you know, the former vice chairman of TCS. Then we have N. Chandra, who's chairman of Tata Sons, who had groomed in TCS, and this is what he had.
I had the pleasure of working with and learning from Mr. Kohli from my very early days. He interviewed me as I was offered a job during my internship with TCS. Over these years, there are many qualities of Mr. Kohli I have come to admire. His clarity of thought and his conviction is one of a kind. Even in the 1980s, he realized the market was in the West, and he used to travel constantly to the US, UK, and other countries and face companies who would tell him it can't be done. But Mr. Kohli believed that IT services can be industrialized with a strong focus on process. He ensured that the engineering talent in this country is developed by working with academic institutions very closely. I invested very heavily in training in TCS and also believed that research and development focus is fundamental and started to build software tools in the early days when we were a very, very small company. And he demanded a lot. And whenever we made a bid or made a proposal or articulated a value proposition to a client, if we fell short, he was upset and even furious. But when he was convinced that we had done our very best in terms of providing a solution to the client and we did not succeed, he would often say, "Don't worry, they will call us back." Such was his conviction in the effort that TCS was putting. He had a very, very strong desire about the hardware industry. Until recently, in all the conversations I've had with him, two things always figured. One is, what is the future of hardware and how India should take part and shape that. And second, he believed that all our problems in India needed solution at scale and only technology can bring. And he debated these things even very, very recently. We will miss him.
The Bhishma Pitamaha of Indian IT has decided to move on. He has left many a footstep in the sand, which will stand the test of time. For many of us, we have lost a great friend, a wonderful supporter, and a man with deep ideas. They were full of passion, and they told us what it takes to be a leader in this area. He'll be missed terribly.
Not coming through.
Tata Consultancy did the first export from India to United States, and that was 74 and. What is for me personally very rewarding is that almost 1/3 of the companies today
Our next speaker, which is Professor Phatak here. So I'd like to hand the floor over to Professor Phatak.
Thank you, Kavi. And it has been a very shocking moment for me personally. But today we have assembled here to celebrate his life. So I will just pick up the thread from what people said, that he actually built institutions and built excellent training programs and had a large vision. And he was committed to use technology for larger public good. But to my mind, we must add to it that he incessantly built and nurtured talent. He first of all collected all smart people and he nurtured them, he polished them, and he made them into leaders. In fact, I still recall a small conversation with LC decades ago when he was CEO of IKIB in Pune. And I asked him a quizzical question like, how did Kohli Saab let you leave TCS? He smiled and said that yes, in the last interview it was difficult. Then finally I told him that, sir, I can never be number one in TCS. And Kohli Saab smiled and said, yes, that is right. You can go ahead and do whatever you wanted. The number of leaders that TCS has created for the country's IT industry is absolutely phenomenal. Me personally, he was a great thinker. He used to call me every few months, shout at me on phone for not doing sufficient work for taking IT to Indian masses using Indian languages. I used to try and tell him that, sir, I work in higher education and English is the medium of instruction. And in his booming voice, he will always say no. Personally, my relationship with him was almost like a father and son. In fact, it was a very funny sight in my office. People meeting with me, suddenly when I would receive a phone call, they would be surprised when I would stand up while talking on phone. And that is the kind of natural respect that we used to pay as children. When an elder walks into the room, you stand up. So subsequently, people came to understand that when Phatak does the standing up trick, it means Kohli Sahib is firing him on phone. he, he was absolutely an amazing person. One of the best things I remember is that at our request, he came to IIT Bombay and gave a talk to our incubating companies and other startups in, I think it was in TechFest or something. The topic was TCS as a startup. You know, it is impossible for anybody today to imagine that Tata Consultancy Services can be considered a startup. But it indeed was a startup then. I mean, the collage of memories flood my mind, so I will not take much time. But to say that, two things I would like to say. Number one, the legacy that he leaves behind is actually for all of us to take the dreams forward and work further to get the IT to become more effective and useful to the masses in the country. I'm in the field of education and I have committed to myself, and I commit once again, that the next 25 plus or minus few years that I have, I will work incessantly in taking the education to masses. That is one way I believe I can contribute a bit to the great legacy that this great man has left behind. I have too many memories, but I think I will stop here. And I'm really, really grateful to the great man for giving me a place in his heart and a true love. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Phatak. We'd have loved to hear much more, but we do appreciate this interest of time in this case, and we'd like to also listen to what the others have to say. I'd like to move on here to Professor Sasrabuddhe, who's here, Hari Sasrabuddhe. I'm trying to go in kind of a chronological order because it'll be interesting to see the early days of TCS, the way they engaged with the IIT system. Hari, are you there?
Yes, I'm here and I just unmuted my microphone. It was good that I heard the people who came before me. That makes me realize that I was not the only one. I was in IIT Kanpur back then when Mr. Kohli most influenced me. And I just don't know how he managed it, but he was probably on our board of governors. So every quarter we used to see him. So he would come, and every time I saw him, he would ask me, "Aajkal kya kar rahe ho, Sahasrabuddhe?" And he had that completely poker face. You couldn't read anything into his face. But it was clear to me that he expected me to be unsatisfied with my own answer. Another thing that people have not noticed so far is I want to note that he passed away on the day of Jagari Ekadashi, one of the two most important Ekadashis in the year. The day on which Lord Vishnu is supposed to wake up from his 4-month nap. But Mr. Kohli, I think people have said enough about him. All I can say is that even through the quarterly meetings and remote contact, because I was so far away physically, he did manage to egg me on. And subsequently, we didn't remain in that much touch. I was living in Pune and he was running his own show in South Bombay. But he will always remain for me a guiding light, someone who I can look up to and realize that there is more to do. I pay my respects to the great person and look forward to listening to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari. In fact, I'd like to just add here, I didn't introduce Professor Hari Sahasrabudhe. He's one of our distinguished computer scientists of the country who used to be head of department at the computer science department in IIT Kanpur for many years. And from there, he came to IIT Bombay, and then he was heading Pune University computer science department. And he also symbolizes, I feel, that when TCS engaged with academia, they engaged with academia in a very knowledgeable way. I know that Mr. Kohli used to do a lot of research and reading of his own, and he had a fairly informed view about goings on in science and technology and computer science especially, and things like that. Way before others would speak about things like this, he would be talking about formal methods in software engineering and things like that, and tooling and building tools, right, to make your software delivery more process oriented and more efficient and things like that. So that was a real eye opener in those days. And I've noticed that TCS also gained a lot from the fact that its initial engagement was only with the IIT system. So they got very good quality people into the organization to set very high standards and very good initial conditions, which any great institution actually needs. So to hear a little bit more about what was happening in the organization itself, we have LC Singh, who I had met many years ago when I was working in TRDDC. He was heading the marketing operations, and his office was right next to Mr. Kohli's. So he would have been also at the receiving end of a lot of interesting interactions. So LC, would you like to unmute yourself and share your experiences with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So LC incidentally went to start his own company, Nihilint Technologies, in Pune many years ago. I think 94 it was. And
no, it was 2000 actually. I think.
Okay, 2000. I'm sorry.
I it, and so.
And along the way, he's made a feature film and done all sorts of interesting things. So please go on.
Yeah. So I think I joined TCS somewhere in 1981, which was when TCS was about 10 to 11 crore company. And, it sounds, so little, because a company which was founded in 1968 and I'm talking about 1981. And imagine what happens today in terms of expectations and so on. But when you join TCS in those days, not many people joined laterally. Most of people entered using their direct recruitment as trainees, and then they were trained. But I used to be with SBI and then went to Ministry of Finance and then came and joined TCS. So to that extent, along with me, there were 6, 7, 8 people who came as professionals, what used to be called somewhere senior mid-level, basically. And Mr. Kohli used to have very piercing eyes. So he will make some hypothetical judgment about you. And if he saw any spark in you, then you'll be thrown in a fire, a small fire. And if you came unscathed, then there'll be bigger fire waiting for you now. So basically it was trial by fire and purification by fire. And I'm saying almost literally because this is how I experienced. I was a came from a banking, SBI background, Ministry of Finance, very conventional kind of guy who comes in. And when I retired, I was head of marketing for TCS now. So from being actually a conventional employee, he made you an entrepreneur by throwing you in all kinds of fire. So that was one way of his. And frankly, when he ignored you, that means there was no future for you in TCS. So getting firing was actually a privilege. So the number of times you were called in for reprimand of this or that was a sign that he is looking something in you, or he's training you now. So that was a trait of how he trained you. Now, since TCS, the perception was that still, for a long time has been that TCS is largely a software engineering kind of practice. But don't forget that Mr. Kohli set up the first systems and engineering, system engineering and cybernetics center back in 1981 with Professor Murthy, which he nurtured further as well now. And then he also created the management consulting. And if in the early days, it was very clearly told to us that TCS is not IT company. It was a problem-solving company. And the problem solving, you need management consulting, you need full cybernetic influence diagrams to understand what the problem is. Is it what it seems to be? In fact, that's how later on we created the byline of TCS, Beyond the Obvious. And in 90s when we promoted, and this was all, we will play in front of Kohli and he will select one of those. So when we wanted to make an impact globally, we chose a theme called Indian Ingenuity Global Impact, because we were saying that the arrival of the Indian industry and leading from the front, So those were the done. Now he had tremendous ability. He may not be a right brainer per se, but he has massive appreciation for right brain activity. And people who know him, know that he loved music and all kinds of music, be it Hindustani classical, Western classics, jazz, or even right from Munni Begum to, anything which had melody and, the aesthetics. He loved it. And I remember, later when I had left, I went and presented to him an iPad. And he said, "What, have you brought an iPad to give it to me?" I said, "No, sir, it's not the iPad. It is the content inside which I came to present to you," which was Anand Sabai Gandharv, big collection from there. I had carried it. So he had he may not be very creative per se himself in terms of right brain, left brain, I think you all know. But he had a fantastic judgment. He could see what was being suggested is right. So, and that's how he was able to combine both. So when we started marketing, positioning of TCS, rebranding, and promoting it worldwide, he played a very key role. And I don't think many of the CEOs even today in the country have that ability to bring in both. And you can see that, how he amalgamated all that to create products throughout the 80s in TCS. Almost 7-8 different products came, using again research in the market and bringing them in, using the best of software engineering to create the products. And then again, early 90s also, till almost 96, 97, it was continuing now. So I think subsequently also I've been keeping in touch with Mr. Kohli. 3 years before, in 2017, when I was setting my the user experience lab in Pune, I invited him and he readily came and inaugurated the lab. Even though I know that his first loyalty remained with TCS, forever. But he had such warm heart for us, and he's visited us in Neyland at least 4 or 5 times. So he stayed for 24 hours. He visited my home. I'm privileged to, and since also I've done some photography lately. So I have pleasure of having some exclusive photographs of Mr. Kohli, Mrs. Kohli. And last year, then he invited me to Alibag, and fortunately, I carried with all my camera kits and so on. I took some 600, 700 clicks, and frankly, those 2 days were, extremely memorial, and I'm so happy. And just 15 days back, I called to say that, can I come and see you? Because it's been almost a year. And Ms. Kohli said, LC, we would also love to see you. But unfortunately, Dr. Anirudh Kohli, he's very wary of his meeting anybody. And I said, of course, I understand, frankly, that it's not just that I was missing. So he was far more than just boss. He was actually a craftsman. He really, wo tarashne ki baat hoti na, he could pick up. He knew where to correct you. And I'm sure he has gone to heaven and will make some few corrections, for the right heaven there. Yeah. Such was Mr. Kohli. And I think it is time to rejoice because he lived one of the fullest life. And, I would think that millions of homes are lit by what Mr. Kohli did in 70s, 80s, and 90s. We owe him everything. And that's why I say that, frankly, I think we were lucky who worked directly with him. We were touched by the hand of God. And I think that God in that form was nothing other than Mr. Kohli. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, LC. This is very, very eloquent. Thank you. In fact, I'd like to go here to Ashank, who's worked with him fairly closely, I think, as the early chairman of NASSCOM and things like that. So, Ashank, would you please tell us a little bit? Continue the storytelling. Ashank, you're muted.
Sorry. I have so many stories about this great man.
So first,
it all started actually is that I was very lucky or very privileged to be his successor at NASSCOM chairman. He handed over literally to me. And first thing he said, Ashank, you want me to get out of my chair and make you sit here? I said, boss, sir, aisa kuch nahi hai. Then he gave me some good firing for some time and told me what is to be done at NASSCOM, which was expected. But that was him. He understood, he knew what to say, when to say, and command. So I would just, time is short, I think people are waiting, but I have so many things to talk about him. I have 5, 6, 7 aspects of his. So I'll quickly go through it. So I'll kind of deliver it as a lecture. He was the guy who opened the gate of export to us. We all know we were selling India before selling our company. And he did that job for all of us in 60s and 70s. And our job was much easier. We all in IT industry struggled hard in those days, but he was ahead of all of us. Building institution, we all know. I don't think I want to talk about TCS and how great it is. We all know. LC has talked, N. Chandra has talked, and Namdo Rai. So I think he has built an institution which we all like to emulate. In Mastech, of course, we always say what TCS will do and what are they doing. So that's always a discussion. And I'm sure many other places, which gave a lot of leaders. I think he has, as they say in IBM, generated leader for US industry IT. I can say that about TCS. And that's a great contribution. The CEOs that we have, in 1980s when we founded NASSCOM, used to say, Are, kahan se milenge CEO or project manager? If you want to become $1 billion, that time billion was a big number. Now we are 190 billion. But so he is one of those who built those leaders. But beyond that, I think some of you are here, they would know he supported ecosystem around IT industry. CSI chairman, IEEE and many other things he has supported, which were ecosystems around IT industry. So he had a vision of what we call ecosystem then. But let me tell you one thing that I would like to say. I call him engineer at heart. I don't know why I call him that way. I used to tell him that, so he used to smile. He was really an engineer, not a businessman, I'll tell you. In that sense, he made a TCS great institution, but he had always that engineering angle to any of the things. You go and sit in his 11th floor Air India office, hundreds of books, all engineering books, and he will talk about engineering, systems theory with me. We used to have a lot of arguments, Forrester and all that. So he had that in heart, Tata Power, Tata Electric heart in his mind. I think he loved that career of his. And every time he'll tell me about that. How he introduced computers in Tata Power, Tata Electric, how was elected to come to TCS. He used to tell me the stories. So I call him engineer at heart, and all of you know he is the only guy who has been awarded some special award by IEEE. IEEE globally. I don't know the name of that award, but he is the only Indian to get that because he passionately worked for electrical and telecom engineer, which he was. So I would like to go beyond IT as an engineer. Tremendous last of course years he was, as N. Chandra also said, hardware. He was very concerned. He used to come and fire us. You guys are only doing software. Software export has reached high, blah, blah, blah. All that is okay, boss. But where is hardware? He used to tell us, and he used to tell me, Ashan, are you going to take something in hardware? I said, sir, I don't know anything about hardware. Education, I spent a lot of time with him. Mumbai first, where I am vice chairman. He has helped us in many. He again built a systems theory of dropout of high school, and he shared with me the whole systems theory, how the whole thing is going to work. So I really used to enjoy discussions with him. And multilingual software, he was very passionate about. He said we are all English, and he did a lot of work, some of you may know, to build and train adult people from illiteracy to literacy in no time. He built a software in TCS. He was passionate about that. And tremendous persistence and energy. My God, can you believe every year in NASSCOM we go to what is called as retreat. And last year, and all the past chairmen and other members of EC come and family. He and Swanj, he both came to Varanasi. And I was amazed. He needed some help, but he went into boat with us. I have photographs with me. I could have shared it with you, but I don't think there's time. He sat with us. He talked with us. And Swans, he used to tell me, he is very unhappy that he couldn't arrange. We had gone to the Kashi Vishwanath temple. So he said he wants me to go to Kashi Vishwanath temple tomorrow at 5 o'clock morning, one day before we left. I said, I give up with this energy at 95-year age. I think we should learn. I hope we have some energy like it even now. So he was like a fatherly figure to me. That was the age difference between him and me. But he treated me like a friend. I appreciate it. He treated me as his mangoes from Alibag. I don't know how many of you have tested. Without fail will come. So the couple has been personal friend. My hats off to him. It's a personal loss, honestly, to me. It so happens that someone talked about the day he passed away. There is another coincidence. He passed away when we had this annual event of NASSCOM online, the one which I talked last year when he came. We had it on 26th online because we couldn't go anywhere. We were discussing with families and all, and we heard this bad, sad news. We said, oh, he was there with us last year. He couldn't have come. He would have come here if he was good. I'm sure he would have come and joined us online, but I'm sure. So with great respect and whatever words, I bow in front of him. And we need many, many Kohlis really in future. And I'm sure he has inspired many others to become Kohli hopefully. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ashan. I'm not interested as chairman of Mastec and all that.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Here we're all friends. I'd like.
Yeah, sorry. No. Carry on.
I'd like two other friends to, before change gear and get into education, right? There's Anand Deshpande here, who comes from a different generation of young Turks. And he's CMD of Persistent, as you know. And Anand was with Mr. Kohli on our E-Yantra steering group way back in 2012. And he's had some connections since then. But since he's gone public with his company, he might have some insights now about Mr. Kohli, which he might not have had then. Maybe he'd like to share them with us. Anand.
Yes, thanks, Kavi, for inviting me here. I graduated from Kharagpur in 1984, and TCS and TBL were already prominent software companies at that time. And Mr. Kohli, as the head, was very established and a well-established figure in the software industry. although I was not selected by TCS, TCS always continues to be a company I respect. For me, as a founder of a software company in the early 90s, Mr. Kohli was a Dronacharya guru for me. I was trying to emulate and learn from him and other such leaders. And he was actually very active and visible in NASCOM, Computer Society of India, and IEEE. And the work of these pioneers was very important. They not only ran their own businesses, but they were also working together to build an industry for all of us. So it was their effort. They could have kept to themselves and worked on their own companies, but the fact that they worked with each other to build the industry was really very important for people like me who were following them many years later. I heard him at various conferences and events in the 90s, and he was always very inspiring. You could feel his passion and his excitement about technology and education. In my opinion, he was a true champion of Atmanirbhar Bharat and spoke all the time about the need for the microelectronics industry in India and the need to support Indian language computing. He was always thinking about technology and India at the same time. As an entrepreneur going through the chores of running a business in the early 90s, he was a role model for all of us. He had built an amazing global software business. If anyone had doubts about how software would be delivered from India, we would always talk about TCS as the role model. This is something Ashank mentioned as well. Having seen my share of hardships in the 90s, it is hard to imagine what he may have had to go through during his times in pretty much the dark ages of technology as India was concerned. He's a legend, and the work he did to get government and NASCOM to formulate policies were the foundations for the success of the software industry. And that sets him apart as the father of the Indian software industry. I had my first opportunity to interact with him during a couple of NASCOM meetings when I was on the executive council much later. He was already a legend, and he took the time to interact with me and always curious to know more about what I was doing at Persistent. I'd like to thank Kavi for providing me the opportunity to interact with Mr. Kohli when he invited both of us to be part of the eYantra board. This was already when he was near 90, and Mr. Kohli was always well sorted. He attended all the meetings, always well dressed in attire and a coat, and always on time. He would do his homework and was a very active participant in the meetings. He would not tolerate any sloppiness that would happen and was very forthright about pointing it out whenever he noticed anything. He was very inquisitive and continued to ask about what is going on with me and at Persistent. There's a lot for us to learn from Mr. Kohli and what he has done for the industry. I am blessed that I had an opportunity to interact with him, and he will always be an inspiration for all of us. Thank you, Kavi, for inviting me. You're mute, Kavi.
Thank you very much, Anand. In fact, we have a little surprise here in the form of Mr. Lalit Kanodia, who's just joined us. And Lalit ji was Kohli Saab's partner in crime in the very early days. And he's witnessed TCS from its very embryonic state, right, to what it is now. And as you know, he's the chairman of Datamatics. So, Lalit ji, we are going with our friends from industry right now. It will be nice if you could tell us a few words about your early memories of Mr. Kohli and the birth of TCS. Over to you, sir.
Well, I have known Mr. Kohli since 1965. I had returned from the USA on a summer vacation after my MBA from MIT, and I was looking for some assignment in India, and I was very fortunate to have been invited by Tata to join the group. And at that time, they asked me to report to Mr. P.M. Agarwala, who was the managing director of the Tata Electric Companies. Mr. P.M. Agarwala, chief executive was Mr. Chidambaram, and there were three deputy general managers, Dr. Pandit, Mr. Manatalla, and Mr. Kohli. So I've known him for a very, very long time. He's a wonderful man, I can tell you, very committed, extremely passionate, extremely hardworking. And even till recently, he would go to the office all the time, and the Tatas had provided him an office where he would go and sit down. He is totally responsible for having built TCS without any doubt. So I had written the project report to create TCS when I was with the Tata Electric Company in 1965. But he is the person who really built that organization to what it is today. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I have known him and his wife Soran also very well. I've interacted him socially many, many times. And when I was president of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce and the IMC, I invited him as a chief guest on many occasions. He never said no. Extremely cordial, extremely well informed, and a gem of a person. I must tell you that I don't know if you know this, but he was a graduate from Lahore, from the government college at Lahore, which has produced a lot of very distinguished Indian, very eminent people, and he is one of them. As all of you know, he is a power engineer from MIT, and it's really wonderful how he adapted like a duck to the water to software when he built TCS to what it is today. After his retirement, he took to education, and as somebody pointed out, very passionate about Indian languages and education in general. Spent a lot of work on his social duties. I think we have lost an incredible person. I must tell you that he had a very tough exterior, but if you opened him, his heart was very soft. Heart of gold, I would say. And he would go out of his way to help anybody and advise anybody over and above his call of duty. So I had the opportunity to work with him, not in TCS, but I had the opportunity to work with him in the Tata Electric companies, and I have the greatest of respect for Mr. Kohli, and we really miss him. May he rest in peace. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me, Kavi. Kavi, you know your father, Jitendra, very well, huh?
Yes, and maybe you knew Anil Dikshit also, my mama.
Anil worked for me, but then Chaya I knew, your mother also I knew very well.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear. I had not mentioned it to you, but it's interesting that you should
I should remember the names, I'm telling you.
Okay, wonderful. But many thanks for having responded to my call out of the blue and having joined us today. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I was trying to log in, but I couldn't log in. But finally, I succeeded. I don't know why.
Acha. Thanks a lot. Maybe a meeting is due one of these days, right? And
Sure.
it'll be nice to meet up. We have a number of friends here who have been listening to you very intently and responding very strongly. We have Professor Phatak and others here also.
Yeah, I can see Deepak. I can see his picture.
Yes. Right. So we have one more colleague from TCS who will give you an idea from the receiving end of Mr. Kohli's diktats, which is Kiran Deshpande, who used to be with us in TRDDC in Pune, and after that he joined Tech Mahindra as a CEO. He took it from, I think, $25 million to $125 million or whatever. Then he went off and did his own startup where he co-founded Mojo Networks. Kiran, we'll wind up the industry side of things with you before we move on to our friends from academia.
Thanks, Kavi. It is talking about Dr. Kohli, and we sort of fondly call him Mr. Kohli, but that's like a first name for us. Working with him, though he was beyond many PhDs. I want to pick up 2 or 3 simple things that I had a privilege, a fortune to come out of IIT Bombay as an MTech and join TCS in the boot camp as a 23-and-a-half-year-old, and I got noticed by him in a couple of years, and since then it's been several. If I take the cricket analogy, there was never a loose ball from him. He always sent you unplayable balls, and if you played that, there's another one that will come, then another one that will come, and he just made sure that, as LC said, you baked and became really good. I want to just bring out 2 or 3 things. I know, Kavi, we are short on time. Today at the corporate level, top line, bottom line, profitability, motivation, there's a bunch of stuff we talk about. And I've seen that happen wherever we are. Somehow, either I was too junior, but I became fairly senior in TCS. This lingua was very minimal in our discussion with Mr. Kohli. It was about problem solving, as Elsie said. It was about engineering, as Ashank said. It was larger thing, and I would just one sentence. I met him last year, and I was in his office, as Ashank said, he always, and Mr. Kanodia said he always was in the office, and he told me, Kiran, we built a company, we built an industry, but India did not benefit. That was his, and I was sitting and I said, sir, Marine Drive देख लीजिए, आपके ऑफिस से इतना अच्छा दिखता है. At this stage in life, enjoy what you have done. Let others worry about where you're going to live. So that was one. He had an amazing sense of humor. And when he asked me to create artificial intelligence group way back in the 88 in TRDDC, and I was talking to him and I said, look, this has to make money as well as research. And he said, just make sure that when you're doing artificial intelligence, you don't forget natural intelligence. And, in his own, way, he would do those kind of things. Those of us who came out of IIT and joined TCS never left academics. I didn't miss IIT library, though the real estate was much bigger. TCS library with IEEE, ACM, Harvard Business Review, everything was available. We never left our academics, and that is, I think, goes to Mr. Kohli. I want to, my personal experience, I was in the founding member of Networks Group, and we were doing a lot of stuff. We built a network before Ethernet was born, and he picked me along with 3-4 others and put me in US for business development, hardcore sales job. We did a good job, all of 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. In 1987-88, I told him that, sir, objects are coming, and I knew the work that was happening with Strauss Up and object databases with TI and other things. And I said, object is a very composite view. TCS takes an engineering view of the software. Believe me, when I came back to India, he said, go to Pune and you build the object group. Just imagine taking a deeply technical person, put him in sales, bringing back to research because of a conversation on the way to the airport. How many people today would do that? And I think he continued to do that continuously. And as Elsie said, and Ashank said, and many others, he was a builder of people. Other thing he did was, from the day one, we were international, global. We never had this feeling. Sometimes when I talk to people, there's a fear of China, there's a fear of this, there's a fear of that. We have no fear. If you want to go in and do your best, I think that's what he expected us to do. And so that fear is, and he's created a generation of people who don't have that fear. I want to end saying that there was this movie Anand, where the last dialogue is Anand mara nahi, Anand marte nahi. Kohli Saab is physically not with us. I finally took the courage to write a blog for him today, after 2-3 days. But his spirit, his teaching, he will never go out of our lives. And he has left a big agenda for us to fulfill. And I'm seeing so many people that I haven't met Mr. Kanodia. I've heard a lot about him. Sudhindra's articles make me think every day whenever they show up. I think we have a big agenda and we're going to take this forward. And that would be the best tribute to him, is to continue to do the work. He shaped not just industry, but he shaped the nation. And he gave remote software development as a methodology, not only to Indians, but to East Europeans, the Filipinos, the Latin Americans. He's a world leader in that sense, and very privileged to have spent those 14 years, some of it with him. Kavi?
Wow, Kiran, this is excellent. 3 very important points I got out of this is that he always thought global, right? Not just domestic industry, yahan compete karke bahar jayenge. Think global and problem solving, right? Like, don't get too wrapped up with just the balance sheet and bottom line and this and that. There has to be passion in what you do, and having empathy, right, to solve societal problems. Driving you at the very base is very important. very inspiring. But the last point that you made, I felt it particularly on the passing of my father. Such people never die. They remain in as many hearts as they have touched. They are still alive. Their presence is still felt. I very strongly believe that, and I'm delighted, Kiran, that you brought that out. Mr. Kohli still lives on. His spirit does. And that's all that matters. So I'd like to change gear here and first start with Professor Mishra, who was our director at IIT Bombay, who had some dealings with Mr. Kohli, and then moved to Kannan and Anil Sahasrabudhe, who, especially Anil, has interacted a lot. So first to Professor Mishra.
Hi, thank you, Kavi, for arranging this lovely meeting. Dr. Farki Chand Kohli was absolutely a remarkable human being with amazing vision and energy. I met him for the first time or in early days of my tenure at IIT Bombay as a director in 2000. And very quickly we built a rapport together to see what we can do for the country, for the institution, and for the industry as a whole. Every time we met, he would give several new ideas for enhancing education and research in the country. We were very fortunate to have him contribute immensely to IIT Bombay through his discussions and visits and the like. And we honored him with honorary doctorate at one of the convocations. And I think it was 2005 or 6, I forget. Even in the recent times, whenever I went to Bombay, especially South Bombay, I made it a point to try and see him. And if he was available, he would give me the time. And every time he was very inspirational. He would say, Ashok, you have to do this. Ashok, you have to do this. And sometimes I would say, Kohli sahab, ab ho gaya. Nahi, tumhe to karna padega. Ye sab, so you have to do it. On a very personal level, he was a very warm person, always appreciating the strengths of people and achievements. That's what I found with me, at least. And the other amazing part of it was he had a very nice sense of humor. In a very subtle manner, he would put something and give you a dry smile and then say, oh, then you sort of appreciated it. Since time is short and so much has been said about him, one of the things which I would like to again emphasize, that in the last 2 odd decades of his life, he really pushed for enhancing and improving higher education, especially engineering education in the country. And one of them was a joint effort that he engaged me in from IIT Bombay with the College of Engineering, Pune, through distance education, which is now well known. We will really miss him. He was a taller person than most people that I've come in contact in life. I will remember his vision and his infectious enthusiasm for doing things, which is rather rare quality. People tell you to do, but his enthusiasm was easily passed on to the people he met. So with these few words, I myself and my wife Rashmi will miss him a lot, because he interacted with Rashmi also quite a bit on a personal level, looking after and asking, inquiring what she was doing, especially for education for the less privileged. Going to South Bombay will never be the same again for me. May his soul rest in peace. Om Shanti. You're muted, Kavi.
Thanks, Professor Mishra, for that. To fill in the story a bit more, we'd like to progress his connections with the IIT Bombay stories by calling upon Kannan Modgalia, who was partner in crime with Professor Phatak in the early days of the distance education programming push. And he's looking at whatever trouble Professor Phatak stirred up in his time, Kannan is having to look after it now at IIT Bombay in the distance education program. So Kannan, over to you. And then I'd like to come to Anil after that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavi, for inviting me. A lot of things have been said about Mr. Kohli. So I will narrate one experience that I had with him. Mr. Kohli was the chairman of Board of Governors, COEP, in the 2006 timeframe. For people who don't know, COEP stands for College of Engineering, Pune. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe was the director of COEP at that time. I was the head of distance education at IIT Bombay. Professor Mishra was the director at IIT Bombay. Mr. Kohli wanted IIT experience to COEP students. In fact, he wrote to Professor Mishra, and then I connected with Mr. Kohli. So what is meant by IIT experience? So Mr. Kohli explained. When an IIT professor makes a mistake, I want our people to see it and realize that it is okay to make mistakes. Okay? When an IIT professor cracks a joke, I want our people to realize that one does not have to be serious all the time. I want our students to realize that all lectures are delivered and delivered on time. I want our students to demand the same from our faculty. When IIT profs are delivering all their lectures, why do you not deliver your lecture? Please come and teach. At the same time, I want our faculty to ask our questions, our students, why they refuse to do homework. When IIT students do so much work, why are you refusing to work? So he looked at it from all angles. Mr. Kohli said that IIT experience can come through only live classes, not through recorded videos, because all these things will get cut out in a recorded video. He believed that pedagogy will come through live lectures. Just to add some numbers, Professor Sahasrabudhe wanted 25 courses to be delivered. And then I circulated that list to all our heads. And 13 courses were delivered in that semester. And interestingly, every faculty member agreed to share their lecture with COEP. And I would like to say that the quality of our own teaching also improved because of that. Mr. Kohli wanted this experiment to be repeated in a big way. And he said that we have to keep trying various things. There are many other things. He was very happy moving on. He was happy about our spoken tutorial project, wherein we dub in Indian languages, 22 languages. But he said that we should do a lot more. Dubbing alone is not enough. I am glad to have known Mr. Kohli. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you, Kavi, for inviting me. Over to you.
Thanks, Kannan. Really nice to hear that. And now we'd like to move to where the theatre really happened in COEP in Pune and beyond. We have Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe here, who was director at that time. I remember meeting him in those days when we were establishing the Yantra labs there and stuff like that. But after that, he went on to become chairman of AICTE. And he's stirring up a lot of things in AICTE. And I can see the inspiration of Mr. Kohli there, where he's using technology to stir up things at a much faster pace than would have otherwise been possible. He was just talking to me about this new inspection technology that they have, the college inspection technology and other things. But over to you, Anil.
I can't hear you, Kavi, for some reason.
Do you hear me now? Hello, do you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so they can hear me. So anyway, perhaps I'll just pass the floor over to Anil and we'll all hear him.
Yeah, thank you, Kavi, for arranging this wonderful meeting. My salutations and respects for the memory of that great man, Dr. F.C. Kohli, a visionary par excellence, very sharp, brilliant, lifelong learner, razor sharp memory. He remembered everything that happened 60 years ago, even at the age of 95, 96. Great mentor, passionate, courageous, lot of conviction. And thankfully, I never knew about him. It is Professor Ashok Mishra. One fine evening in IIT Delhi in the directors meeting, because my director had not gone, I had gone there, and he started asking my CV. And then he said that you have to go to College of Engineering, Pune, finally. I didn't know why he is saying so, but after learning about FC Kohli, I accepted the assignment. It was a challenge. And the first 2 years of mine, you all said that he is a taskmaster and a lot of firing. I received lots of firing in the first 2 years. And I will tell you a couple of sentences which he used to do. I said, sir, ये गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज है, इसमें जल्दी चेंज नहीं हो सकता है, मैं धीरे धीरे कर रहा हूँ, कोशिश में हूँ. Then he said, Anil, do you know I am at 84, age is not on my side, and I have never failed in my life. And having accepted College of Engineering Pune's Board of Governors director chairmanship, I don't want to fail before I die. And therefore, age is on your side, but not on my side. So I am in a hurry. I can't accept your slow progress that you are doing. And I was in tears. On the phone call, I was literally crying. And on the right track. And you must be doing it not just for your college, but India needs such other 100 institutions. Please remember, COEP was not even amongst the top 100 institutions in the country. In the first 5-6 years, we started getting into the top 20, in some of the respects challenging even the IITs. And that is where he said, this is a potential which India has, and you must do it and start supporting, mentoring other institutions in the country. And that is where, again, when Dr. Bhatkar asked me that I should take over as the chairman of AICT and you apply for that, I said, sir, कोहली जी को मैंने वादा दिया था, पहले 5 साल के बाद जब उन्होंने मुझे पूछा कि do you want to continue for the next 5 years? I said, sir, normally deputation to another institution from IITs is not allowed beyond 5 years. You either get absorbed in that institution or come back. So IIT Guwahati will not give me. Arey, that is not your problem, that is my problem. You just tell me whether you are interested in continuing or not continuing. I said, whatever development has happened in 5 years to consolidate, I certainly would like to continue here. Then he gave a phone call to Dr. Barua, said, Anil ko aur 5 saal ke liye dena chahiye. This is the first time a government of India deputation beyond 5 years was allowed to a state government, not even center to center, central government to a state government. It's only Dr. FC Kohli can get it done. And secondly, very important thing, he often used to say, if you get a call from secretary or minister, which is normal case in the government, interference, especially in the state level, he said, you just tell my name and say that Kohli ji ne kaha hai, karna nahi hai, bas ho gaya. Some complete insulation from interference from bureaucracy and the politicians. I think that is where we could make that transformation, big change that happened. And some of you were telling that IEEE honor is called IEEE Founders Medal. It is given only to 2 people outside USA, one Japanese and one Indian, that is FCK. I think that is what it is. And his passion not only for education, IT of course, but agriculture, adult education. He used to tell all those stories to us. And I was very lucky, although came in contact with him very late in 2006. Between 2006 and 15, for 9 long years, every alternate day, I used to get a phone call. And when I sent some, proposal, next day, the reply from that email will come. Either what nonsense you are doing, or you are doing a great job, continue. I think that is what FCK is all about. I think he was a fatherly figure. I am benefited a great deal. I only feel that he should have lived at least 4 more years. That century in cricket is important. He was lost by us at the age of 96 because he was telling 100 many times. I will tell you, our institute from out of 100 came out at the time of my leaving within top 20s. But otherwise, remember, he used to say, we all have been board of directors members in the industry, but we go quarterly for the meeting. But if you accept the membership or chairman of a board of governors of any institution, you must at least contribute 100 hours beyond the meeting time for the institution. And this 100 was his very, very fundamental, very important thing. You must transform 100 other institutions. So when Vijay Bhatkarji asked me that I should come, I said, I have accepted that another 5 years I will serve here. I have just completed 4 more years, so I will not do it. 1 more year is left for me. Then he said, I will speak with him. I said, please don't do that. It will look like I am trying to influence through you. So I wrote a mail to him that I have been given this offer that I must take up the job of AICT chairman. Next day, reply came. He called me on phone. You have done enough for College of Engineering Pune. Now you have to do at the national level. Not 100, 200, 500 institutions have to be converted like IITs in this country. Please go ahead. And that blessing is carrying me through even today. We have trained 100,000 teachers in the last 8 months of pandemic in AI, IoT, machine learning. I think many, many things we were able to do. Only that inspiration is that man. And I think the family, Aniruddha, Swarna, all of them are great. And I hope they will all take this, whatever has happened, in stride. Let God give them strength. But very importantly, is another feature which I have observed is in every party, he used to first, whether it is drink, whether it is food, first plate he will carry to Swarna madam, hand it over to her, only then he will take it. I think that is a lesson which should all learn, how family relationships are built. I can go on and on, but time is very, very limited. We are all benefited by his whatever mentorship he has done to all of us. And 2 last things which he always used to say. We did something very good in IT, but in hardware, we missed the bus. And he did try. He used to say that he went to the secretary, electronics, but they were telling that, oh, we have this and we have that, we don't require IBM, we don't require, and so on and so forth, and we missed the bus. It was Taiwan, it was South Korea who took over. India missed the bus. So let us reinvent ourselves in hardware as well. That's what he used to tell always. And secondly, although we have translations, everything happening in Indian languages, our operating system should have been in Indian languages. Only then a person from the village would have been empowered. I think that is where Kannan Maudgulya's spoken tutorials, etc., are very, very significant and important. And we all have got banking from him several times, but they are the blessings. They are the blessings, and that have given us the strength. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Om Shanti.
You're on mute, Kavi.
Sorry. So the lesson that we've all learned from Mr. Kohli is that you must give bangings to everyone and they will rise to the occasion. So, and what comes out also is a very stern exterior, but a very soft interior with a lot of empathy and wanting to make a real difference. So originally we had thought that we'll do 5 to 6, but 5 to 6:30. But today seems to be a good time. Last but not the least, I saved Sudhindra Kulkarni for the end, where he could help us sum up whatever has been spoken before. And before that, if he can share his own insights, because he used to be in various places, including the PMO, and after that he was in ORF, and he's engaged a fair amount with Mr. Kohli. And Kohli sahab also used to talk a little bit about him when we used to meet. So over to you, Sudhin.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That is complete. This is complete. If completeness is taken away from completeness, what remains is again completeness. Shri Kohli Sahab is now part of that completeness, Purnatva. But does it mean that he was not part of this Purnatva when he was with us? No. Life as well as death are part of this completeness. And as was rightly said by several people, Anand marta nahi or Anand marte nahi. He was that Anand. He gave Anand to so many of us, and that came through so inspiringly in this Shraddhanjali Sabha. Thank you, dear Kavi, for organizing this event. How do I describe Kohli Saab? Perhaps we can begin by taking the help of his name itself, Fakir Chand Kohli. There was something fakiri about him. Man ki fakiri and dil ki fakiri. He achieved so much in his life, but he was detached from those achievements. You know, he's one of the most unassuming persons that I have met, and I'm sure that this is the experience that all of us have. The second way to describe him, and this also has come through in the Shraddhanjali Sabha, is patriotism. His heart beat for India almost till the very end. He was all the time thinking of what we can do for India. And I was really struck by an expression that he's saying with a lot of sadness in his voice, that we have built a great industry, but we are not really benefited India. That was that was something which I experienced whenever I interacted with him. And he used to say, India has no business being a nation of poor people. India has no business being a nation of poor people. And he said it so many times, almost in every meeting that we had. And it sounded so authentic, as if he was saying it for the first time. He deeply believed, and I'm just reiterating what others have said, in the power of technology and the power of education to make India free of poverty, to ensure that every Indian is able to live a life of dignity, life justice, and which is why I was so surprised that he's so passionate about uh, rural education, education of dropouts, education in mother tongue. I mean, someone from TCS, the Tata Group, being so passionate about this was truly inspiring for so many people, myself included. And here I would like to spend a minute on his association with COEP that Professor Sahasrabudhe talked about. When I was associated with the Observer Research Foundation in Mumbai, we were so inspired by this example of creating an IIT-like institution in Pune. My colleague Dr. Leena Wadia and we all did an in-depth study with the support of Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe, but with the constant guidance of Kohli Saab. And we came out with a report. And the report said how to make 50 engineering colleges, promising engineering colleges in India, IIT-like. To create a new IIT, a greenfield IIT, takes a lot of resources. But we have so many good engineering colleges, which, if mentored by IITs, can really come to IIT standards. And COEP is a good example. So there is so much to be actually learned from Kohli Saab in this. And I think the government, either in Maharashtra or the rest of India, has not really paid much attention to this passion of Kohli Saab, how in a cost effective way we can substantially raise the standard of higher education, especially engineering education in India. The third aspect is that he was a karma yogi. What passion, what tirelessness. I mean, I remember, he had already entered his 90s, but yet he would come to so many of our programs at ORF. He would invite us to his office at TCS Air India building. And friends, I must share this experience. Whenever I visited him on the 11th floor office of his at Air India, I was struck by the enchanting view of Marine Drive. There was some dreamy quality about the way Bombay looked, the way Marine Drive looked, and he would stand by the window and tell us, what we can do and what we should do for India. So, as Kavi said right at the beginning, he was a dreamer. He was dreaming all the time about India, how to make India great, and the potential of India. His office was full of books. He was so up to date on government policies, on technology trends. Amazing. And as is rightly said, having achieved so much in software, he was insisting that we achieve the same in hardware. And we have missed the bus somewhere along the way. And this is one of the many things that we have to take his legacy forward on. Friends, I with all of you in sending our heartfelt condolences to Swaranji, to his sons. Sanjay was with me in Hostel 2 in IIT, and it was such a privilege knowing Kohli Saab, getting inspired by him, and that inspiration will certainly continue. And it's our duty not only to contribute to building India of his dreams, India of our dreams, but also to make sure that the next generation and the generations to come, they are similarly inspired and enlightened. Thank you, dear Kavi, and I'm really inspired by listening to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sudhin, for very eloquently describing what is in our hearts today. And thank you all for having joined us and taken time out to be with us, to share your thoughts. In fact, I think what we should make is that this group which has met today, I've sensed a lot of energies in it. We have the capacity and the capability and the ability to carry on this legacy and carry on this mission. Anil in AICTE, Kanan, Professor Mishra, everybody here has the possibility. I am privileged to be leading a project which is doing massive outreach among students and teaching them very, very practical skills. We are in the position to make a difference, and coming together, it's inspiring to be in the company of others who think like that, others who are dreamers, but who've also achieved stuff, others who've been, beaten on the back a bit and made to perform and inspired to perform. And we are really grateful that you were here with us today. I've been in touch with Mr. Kohli's son, Anirudh. I told him that we'll be meeting. He said he'll try and see if he can join, but if not, he'd like us to record it, and we have recorded the entire session, and we'll make it available to him. And thank you all very much. What I'd like you to do is that if you can just unmute your videos. So we'd like to take a group photograph